Now join me as I take you back to the 1983 Super Bowl of motocross with Bruce Penhall and myself as hosts. Look for David Bailey, Mark Barnett, Brock Glover, Jeff Ward, and even look for young Danny Magoo Chandler in this Supercross Classic.
The Recreation Network presents, from the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California, the Miller High Life Super Bowl of Motocross. Join Supercross originator Mike Goodwin for the largest and most prestigious Supercross event in the world with some of the world's top Supercross competitors. Brock Glover, David Bailey, and Mark Barnett, to name a few, as they compete for the largest Supercross payday in history.
Hey motorcycle fans, I'm Larry Huffman, and I'd like to tell you about the wildest moto video ever made, the Blackwater 100 from 1990. Call toll-free right now to order this exciting home video program, staged in Davis, West Virginia. The Blackwater 100 is America's toughest race, and you can see why. You won't see anything like this on TV, but you can order this motorcycle madness and mayhem right now. You'll see mud, mountains, and crashes, and much, much more mud, as the most daring motorcycle riders in the world go head-to-head in 100 miles of sheer insanity. This is video entertainment you can't pass up. Call now, 1-800-688-6686, and order by phone. All major credit cards accepted. Or send only $29.95 plus $4 postage and handling to Moto Video, P.O. Box 9501, South Laguna, California, 92677. That's P.O. Box 9501, South Laguna, 92677. No CODs accepted. Allow 3 to 4 weeks for delivery. Call right now for the Blackwater 100 video.
Don't miss the hottest ski film ever. Nissan Pathfinder presents Warren Miller's Born to Ski. Filmmaker Warren Miller travels around the world to show you people who were born to ski and some who were born to crash. Don't miss it.
The Born to Ski World Tour will be making one-night stops in selected Southern California cities. Call Ticketmaster for show and ticket information.
World-famous Rose Bowl, home of the Super Bowl, the Rose Bowl Football Classic, and UCLA football action. Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Huffman. Tonight, action of a different type. Young gladiators in helmets, shoulder pads, and protective leathers, but they're riding exotic two-wheeled motocrossers. The Super Bowl of motocross, the Miller High Life Super Bowl of motocross. With me to call the action, Bruce Penhall, a star of Chips and a two-time World Speedway champion himself. This track looks tough, buddy.
I'll tell you what, Larry, I have so much respect for these gladiators out here tonight. We have degrees reaching up to 90 degrees tonight. We had a shower storm which washed away most of the smog this morning. But I'll tell you what, the heat's going to be a factor. Plus, this is the roughest supercross track I've ever seen.
The heat in the 90s, the humidity almost that high. It's going to be some action tonight. Weekend, and right in the middle of the front row, David Bailey looking at a payday of $198,000 if he can pull it off tonight. But as luck would have it, he goes up against Brock Glover, the Yamaha Golden Boy, the superstar who's won the Super Bowl twice before. He's up against Glover in heat number 1. The riders set, lean forward to the bikes, the gate set to drop. It's down, and David Bailey gets a hole shot on the inside with Glover on the outside into that first turn. Glover goes wide, and Bailey slips by on the inside. So David Bailey, a beautiful start for the young man from Axton, Virginia. Bailey in front, Glover running in second spot. Up to the hairpin turn, Glover goes by on the inside. Glover flying off the jump, takes the lead away from Bailey in the first 10 seconds. But Bailey comes right back. It's Bailey back in front through the mud, the blood, the beer here at Pasadena. David Bailey in front, and Glover is trying to go around him. Alan King in the factory Suzuki in third. $198,000 on the line for David Bailey if he can pull it off tonight. And the pressure on this young man is incredible, but look at him fly. David Bailey, number 11 in front. Glover running in second spot, and King in third. Bailey, Glover, and King over the jumps. Meanwhile, back in the pack, young Jeff Ward gets off. Ward trying to double jump and goes right on his head. A very dangerous part of the course, the double jumps. Meanwhile, Bailey out in front, looks behind him. Glover right on his tailpipe, 2 bike lengths back. And Bailey is riding like a virtuoso. Bailey to the inside, Bailey to the outside, and Glover can't figure out how to get around him. The crowd evenly divided between cheering for Bailey and cheering for Glover, and Bailey is riding a flawless race. Heat number 1, the Passing the Rose Bowl, the Miller High Life Super Bowl of Motocross, the granddaddy of them all. And David Bailey is on his way to picking up a record paycheck. Bailey lapping slower riders in this first heat. And getting into traffic, and that's where it's dangerous. But Bailey still managing to keep ahead of Brock Glover. Blocking Glover. Fading, causing Glover to try to go to both sides, and Bailey continues to block him. A beautiful job, a battle between Honda and Yamaha. And Glover is frustrated. David Bailey heading for the checker, and there it is. A cross-up, and David Bailey wins heat number 1.
With us down here on the track, we have probably one of the most consistent motocross riders in history today, David Bailey. We understand that you study tapes before each race and after race to see what you're doing wrong. Does any of that come from your father?
Well, a lot of it does. It was pretty much his idea for the videotapes to come into the sport. He started videotaping me about 2 years ago, and ever since then it's been nice to watch the films, you know, for riding techniques as well as other riders' techniques, and just for the joy to have the films, because a lot of times my mom can't go, and it's just videotaping is really kind of taken over in the world today, and you can just observe everything that you're doing out there on the racetrack to try to improve.
And to show us what going around this Supercross track at the Rose Bowl looks like from a rider's viewpoint, here's David Bailey's father, Gary Bailey, himself a champion in the early 70s, taking a helmet camera around the course here at Pasadena. Through the left and right-hand turns and over the jumps and down the straightaway at close to 70 miles an hour through the grass, because the Rose Bowl had the first grass track ever at a Supercross in the United States. Bailey, 40 years old and still a good competitor in Supercross, hitting 65, 70 miles an hour down the straightaway and over the jumps. And finally, coming up, the Miller Mountain, the highest jump ever at a California Supercross, right where our Recreation Network camera is positioned.
We'll be back to the Rose Bowl for more of the Miller High Life Super Bowl of Motocross.
If you like motorcycle racing, you'll want to get the full story every week in Cycle News, America's weekly motorcycle newspaper. Call now and have Cycle News mailed to your home every week with this special television offer. Subscribe for 1 year and get 50 weekly issues for only $33. Use your credit card or just say, "Bill me," and make 3 easy payments of $11. Call toll-free 1-800-325-2925. Subscribe to Cycle News and just say, "Bill me."
29-year-old Guy Cooper. Clearly no match for today's hot young riders. Yeah, right. His bike, a Suzuki RM125. Nah.
See Saddleback Suzuki, Laguna Hills, Inland Empire, Simi Valley Cycles, Escondido Cycle Center, Anaheim Suzuki, Southland Cycle Center, Garden Grove, and Suzuki Riverside.
The Grand Poobah was begging for baby back ribs, so I said, sure. Well, first you gotta find the ribs, a recipe for the sauce. Would probably need a week in Acapulco just to recover from the mess. So I said, honey, get in the car, we're going to Love's.
For the special $7.99 Rib Tickler dinner, gold medal winning baby back ribs, crisp coleslaw, Love's barbecue beans, and fresh bread, all for only $7.99.
He loved it.
When you're in love, the whole world's delicious.
If you want more than just an import pickup, GMC truck is what you want. Move up to a full-size Sierra. It's extra big back here and extra comfortable in here. Air conditioning, stereo cassette, power steering, rear anti-lock brakes, and a 4.3-liter V6 engine are included. And the price of moving up has just come down. After $500 factory cash back, the Sierra is only $13,407. Call 1-800-TRY-GMC1 for your nearest dealer.
Bailey knows that the only man who can take the championship away from him is Mark Barnett. And he's trying to open up a big lead as possible early in this semi number 1. David Bailey out in front, number 11 on the factory Honda, followed by Brock Glover, the Golden Boy, in the factory Yamaha. And in third spot and hovering, getting set to pounce, Mark the Bomber Barnett, number 2. Over the double jumps. Still, Bailey in complete control. And if he gets any more height on that, he's going to have to apply for a pilot's license. Bailey in front, Glover second, and Barnett in third. And look at the momentum of their battle, how far it's taken them away from the rest of the pack. Barnett trying to figure a way to get around Bailey and stay in front of Barnett. Over the Miller Mountain, Barnett moving right up behind. Brock Glover's tailpipe. Glover trying to go on the inside. He stalls. Glover stalls, and Barnett goes into second. A free ticket to second spot, courtesy of Brock Glover. And Barnett is now stalking Bailey. David Bailey in front, but now the only man that can take the championship away from him running in second spot, Mark the Bomber Barnett. This is only semi number 1, but you can tell, and here's the rider down. You can tell that Bailey is feeling the pressure. Kevin Davis of Roland Heights, California goes down. And he looks to be hurt. Bailey looks behind him, and Barnett goes by the inside. Barnett slips by. Bailey takes it back. Bailey slamming into Barnett. Barnett taking over the lead. Mark the Bomber Barnett has gone out in front of the factory Suzuki. Bailey is sitting in second, and the crowd, the Barnett fans, are standing and cheering. Barnett, the 3-time National 125 champion and the ex-Supercross champion, coming back again. The white flag, 1 lap to go. Bailey in second spot, quite a ways behind Barnett. As Barnett launched himself over those jumps. The final lap, Mark Barnett in front, David Bailey in second spot, and Brock Glover in third. Here's the checker. And Mark the Bomber Barnett serves notice to Bailey. The main event is going to be a knockdown, drag-out brawl. Barnett takes the win. Bailey is second, and Brock Glover's in third. And you've got to wonder what's going through David Bailey's mind. The last chance qualifier, and only the top 2 from this race will transfer directly to the main event. On the outside of that long starting lineup, number 21, Steve Martin. And a Cinderella story. Marty Typhoon Tripes, who won the first and second Super Bowls of motocross, is back 10 years and 30 pounds later. They line up and lean forward. Here's the start. All important. And out in front, a pair of Hondas. Number 21, Steve Martin, and number 19, Kenny Keelan. It is Martin and Keelan out in front. Tripes in the middle of the pack. Over the downhill jump. Number 19, Kenny Keelan, Brooksville, Florida, takes the lead. Steve Martin right on its tailpipe. Steve Martin and Kenny Keelan battling back and forth for the lead in this all-important last chance qualifier. The track getting rutted now. Much more difficult than early in the evening. In third spot, flying out of nowhere, is a 16-year-old from El Cajon, California, on a factory Yamaha, Ron Lachine. Meanwhile, back in front goes Steve Martin. Martin and Keelan out in front. Lachine running in third spot. Whoa! Look at Lachine flying over the jump. Ron Lachine, 16 years old, a high school junior, battling into second spot, and he's got second. It is Steve Martin in front and Ron Lachine second, and look out, Marty Tripes is down. The big man goes down hard at the base of the big jump. He's trying to get up. Marty Typhoon Tripes goes down hard, lands on his shoulder, and apparently is out of the race, an injured shoulder. Meanwhile, back in front, number 21, Steve Martin out in front, with Ron Lachine in second spot. It is Honda versus Yamaha. Steve Martin, number 21, on a Honda in front, and Lachine is right on his rear tire. Lachine on the inside, trying to pass Martin. And Martin holds him off. But for how long? Lachine goes wide. This kid is a wild and crazy lad. Going by the inside. Lachine throws a rooster tail of dirt right up into Steve Martin's face. So Ron Lachine, 16 years old in the factory Yamaha, has taken the lead in the last chance qualifier. Steve Martin in second spot. Lachine with a maturity far beyond his 16 years. He is riding like a seasoned veteran. The checkered flag comes out. Lachine gets sideways. Let's take a look at that again. Whoa! And the crowd goes crazy. So Ron Lachine wins the last chance qualifier with Steve Martin in second.
Hey, Supercross fans, check this out. It's high-flying motocross pro action trading cards for 1991. Now, you can own this brand new set of limited edition motocross action trading cards from 1991. Call this toll-free number now and order the complete set of 150 full-color motocross cards. Already valued as a limited edition collector set, these cards include top motocross stars like Jean-Michel Bale, Jeff Stanley, Jeff Ward, and many, many more. And just check out the colorful graphic design front and back. Wow, get your set now. To order your complete set of 150 cards via this exclusive TV offer, use any major credit card and call toll-free 1-800-688-6686 or mail check or money order for $37.50 plus $4 postage and handling to Moto Video Card Offer, P.O. Box 9501, South Laguna, California, 92677. That's P.O. Box 9501, South Laguna, California, 92677. Absolutely no CODs accepted. Allow 4 to 6 weeks delivery, tax not included. Order now.
Do you need help with your moving violation tickets, suspended driver's license, DUI incident, auto accident, or injury? The California Transportation Law Clinic will provide you with an attorney you can afford. Call now to find out how you can beat your moving violation tickets with the help of an attorney from the California Transportation Law Clinic. SR-22 filings and insurance services are also available. Protect your rights. Call the California Transportation Law Clinic at 213-470-0694. Call now.
They line up for the main, and here it is, 20 laps, and 67,000 people are standing and cheering. The gate drops. And out in front, it is Glover. Brock Glover in front, gets the whole shot. Scott Burnworth in second spot. But Glover, a beautiful start for the young man from El Cajon, California. Glover off the giant jump. Second spot, Scott Burnworth. Bailey is back in mid-pack. Danny Magoo Chandler running in third spot. Ron Lachine in fourth. So the Golden Boy, Brock Glover, opens up the lead early in the main event. 20 laps, the best Supercross riders in the world. Scott Burnworth in second and Danny Magoo Chandler in third. Trying to go into second spot ahead of Burnworth. It is Yamaha in front. Glover riding a flawless race early in the main event. 20 laps. Johnny O'Mara, number 4, back around fifth spot. But Glover building up an incredible lead early in the race. Brock Glover pulling away from the rest of the pack, riding an absolute flawless race over the double jumps. Look at him fly 80 feet through the air at Pasadena. Brock Glover on the factory Yamaha. Yamaha, the factory, adding several $100,000 in prize money for the upcoming 1984 season. Danny Magoo Chandler in second spot. Burnworth running in third. Lachine in fourth, and here comes Barnett, number 2, in fifth. Barnett knows he's got to get up and pass Glover to take home the championship. 67,000 people standing and cheering, and Glover can hear them. It is Glover, number 6, in front, Chandler in second, Burnworth in third. Then Lachine, and then Barnett, and Barnett is starting to move. Bailey back in sixth spot. Brock Glover in front, trying to hold on to that lead and having no problem whatsoever. riding an absolutely flawless race. Lyles is down. The Kawasaki rider from Georgia, Billy Lyles, is down and rebounds over the double jumps. The double jumps were designed specifically so the riders couldn't go over them. According to the builder, it was impossible to go over the double jump. The only problem was nobody told the riders. Number 6, Brock Glover in front, as these human pogo sticks fly around this Pasadena Rose Bowl track. David the Bandit Bailey sitting in 6th spot. He can win the $198,000 if he finishes in this position, and he knows it. His father anxiously watching. Oh, look out! Alan King almost going down, and he saved it. Danny Magoo Chandler battling Barnett. Back in about 3rd spot. Johnson down. Rick Johnson is down. The winner of the Tokyo Super Bowl, Johnson, is out early in this race. He pushes the bike to the side of the course. Meanwhile, out in front, Brock Glover, Lachine trying to scratch his way up. Barnett trying to get around Lachine. Look out, a rider down! Gary Bailey runs across the track, but it is not his son. Bailey still in 6th spot. David Bailey still in 6th. Glover goes by the fallen rider. Glover, an incredible, almost insurmountable lead. Running in front, number 6, the Golden Boy from El Cajon, California. Lapping riders almost at will now. Meanwhile, Barnett is all over the track, snarling and snapping at Chandler, trying to go into 2nd, almost losing it. Number 6, your leader, Glover, 2nd place, number 22. Chandler in 3rd spot, number 2, Barnett. 1 lap to go, the white flag out. And look out, going over the double jumps. Barnett is going into 2nd spot. Barnett is 1 rider away from a $200,000 payoff. If he can catch Glover, and Glover is slowing down. The checkered flag, he's got it. Brock Glover wins the Miller High Life Super Bowl of Motocross. Mark Navarro Barnett is 2nd, and 3rd spot, Danny Magoo Chandler. But finishing 6th and wrapping up the Supercross and Super Series Championship, David the Bandit Bailey.
Brock Glover, 3-time Super Bowl champion, Golden Boy of motocross. You rode fantastic, buddy.
Thanks, Bruce. I felt really good tonight, and you know, had a little troubles in the heat race and semi running in the back of installing my machine one time, and I got it all together for the main. I felt real smooth, and I'm glad it was in the main event, not in the other races.
6-time national champion Brock Glover, a true Supercross hero, along with 1983 Super Bowl purse winner David Bailey. Both will go down in Supercross history. Just 2 more Supercross racing legends we're adding to our list of heroes. The guys that have given us those thrills we can only experience on 2 wheels. I'm Larry Huffman. Thanks for joining us.
Hardball track, up hills, over jumps, and around hairpin corners. All the while trying to stay upright and to be the first one across the finish line. Motocross offers both the spectator and the competitor tremendous excitement, thrilling speeds, seemingly impossible maneuvers second to no other motorsport. Motocross requires total concentration, dedication, brute strength, surgical precision, and perfect coordination. In 1979, the top professional motocross riders were tested by the National Athletic Health Institute, comparing their stamina, endurance, and strength with other top athletes. They were found to be the most physically fit group of athletes ever to be tested. Let's meet some of the top professional motocross riders. Mark Barnett, Team Suzuki. Donnie Hansen, Team Honda. Warren Reed, Team Kawasaki. Brock Glover, Team Yamaha. Chuck Sun, Team Honda. Mike Bell, Team Yamaha. Kent the Rhinestone Cowboy Howerton, Team Suzuki.
The 1980 Coca-Cola Super Bowl of Motocross Challenge of a Champion. Brought to you by Suzuki Motorcycles. See the full line of Suzuki motorcycles at your local Suzuki dealer.
Hi, this is Larry Huffman, inviting you to meet a very special professional athlete, motocrosser Kent Howerton. Kent travels 40,000 miles a year across the United States, racing every weekend for 10 months out of the year. He won the Motorcycle Olympiad and the inaugural Superbikers competition against some of the best motorcycle racers in the world. Kent Howerton now holds the coveted 250 National Motocross title. For the next 30 minutes, we'll be following Kent and his lovely wife, Jill, as he trains and prepares for the 1980 Coca-Cola Super Bowl of motocross.
I started racing about when I was 18, and what happened was I'd been riding at this area, and this guy saw me, and he let me race his bike at a local race. And after doing that, I got so involved with it, you know, and I just couldn't get enough of the racing, and it just kept growing from there to a dealer sponsor, to a distributor sponsor, and finally to a factory sponsorship. And now it's, you know, the only thing I do.
The ABC television Superbike race. Ken Howerton raced against the top riders from all motorcycle sports. He competed with them on a specially designed race course that combined flat track, drag racing, motocross, and road racing. Kent is totally dedicated to his sport. His complete knowledge of his craft and his combined skills in the various racing services led him to the winner's circle once again. Recently, I talked to Kent and Jill Howerton. I asked Kent what winning meant to him.
So many people are involved with it. You know, you got your mechanics, and Jill, and then just everybody's really involved in it in some sort of way. And for me to win doesn't present the same pleasure it did the first time I won. And now, to see everybody else's faces light up and everybody's happy, then that makes me happy.
In April 1980, Kent was a winner again of the Pontiac, Michigan Silverdome Supercross event. The main event, 25 riders lined up, the best in the world, heading into a turn wide enough for only 6 bikes, like a gang of guys trying to get through a closet door at once. And braking in front after the first turn, it was Kent Howerton of Team Suzuki with his teammate, the top young street fighter from Bridgeview, Illinois, Mark Barnett, in second. In the final few feet of the race, Barnett had slipped by Howerton and headed for the checkered flag. It was Suzuki 1 and 2, Barnett in front and Howerton in second spot, but it was not to be. As they headed for the final turn, 20 feet away from the checkered flag, Barnett threw it into a slide and stalled the bike. And Kent Howerton slipped by to take the checkered flag at the Pontiac Silverdome Supercross. Kent talked about his mental preparation.
Mentally is probably hard, and it's not really hard either, because if I go out and I do all the things I need to do in the middle of the week, if I'm training and I do all the riding I need to do, and I know the bike's going to be strong, and that's, you know, already taken care of by my mechanic, so all I have to do is worry about my training and then my physical training with the bike. And when those things all go together, then mentally I'm strong. So it's really just a matter of doing them to become mentally prepared.
Kent explains the difference between stadium motocross and national outdoor motocross.
In a stadium race, it's short. It's about 20 minutes. The tracks are very narrow. The speed in which the guy in first place is going compared to the guy in 5th or 6th place is going is not very much different. And there's just simply not enough time to really separate yourself and get out in front.
"29-year-old Guy Cooper. Clearly no match for today's hot young riders. Yeah, right. His bike, a Suzuki RM125. Nah.
See Birch, the Motorcycle Mall, Azusa, Suzuki Kawasaki, Country of Norco, Orange County, Suzuki, Costa Mesa, Cole Brothers Incorporated, North Hollywood, The Performers, Del Amo Suzuki, Redondo Beach, La Habra Suzuki, and Fun Bike Center, San Diego.
If you like motorcycle racing, you'll want to get the full story every week in Cycle News, America's weekly motorcycle newspaper. Call now and have Cycle News mailed to your home every week with this special television offer. Subscribe for 1 year and get 50 weekly issues for only $33. Use your credit card or just say, "Bill me," and make 3 easy payments of $11. Call toll-free 1-800-325-2925. Subscribe to Cycle News and just say, "Bill me."
We got it, we got it, we got it, we got it, you got it, you got it, you got it, you got it, we got it, we got it.
If you've got to have it, there's no better time to get it.
We got it, we got it, we got it, you got it, you got it, you got it.
The Suzuki We've Got It flexible financing. Come and get it.
And
and we've got it. Zero down financing on approved credit at Orange County Suzuki, the #1 volume Suzuki dealer in Orange County with friendly, courteous service. Not just any Suzuki, but Orange County Suzuki. 1601 Newport Boulevard at 16th Street in Costa Mesa. Suzuki, the ride you've been waiting for.
Maida Harold.
Aunt Bertie used to be the family entertainment, but now we have...
And each rider has his own way of toughening up for the battle. Tremendous arm, shoulder, stomach, leg, and back strength are required to manhandle these mechanical buck and broncos. On some jumps, the rider absorbs forces capable of bending steel.
Physically, I prepare myself by running a lot. A very strenuous running program, up and down hills to get a variable type of resistance rather than just a flat, smooth type. The way I like to practice is Monday's the day I rest, try and recuperate on that. Tuesday, it depends on what I feel like. If it was a real hard race, then I may just want to go trail riding, something light and easy. And then on Wednesday, I always go out to the motocross track. I'll practice for 2 or 3 hours. Then on Thursday, I'll go back trail riding. And so I try to get a lot of variety in, and I think that makes a well-balanced practice. To go really, really fast, you have to be perfectly relaxed and be able to flow with the bike. If you're a little bit tense, you can't lean the bike over and hit the berm right, or you can't hit the jump right. You just got to be ultra relaxed.
Relaxing under intense physical exertion. Now that's a good trick. Look at how Kent's arms, shoulders, and legs work with the suspension of the motorcycle. He uses his powerful arm strength, keeping his weight over the rear wheel to power through this soft sand. And diet is important, too.
The diet I like to follow is, for breakfast, I eat a normal breakfast, you know, just bacon and eggs and whole wheat toast, orange juice, milk. And for lunch, you know, whatever I feel like eating. And for dinner, I try and eat just a well-balanced dinner, a little bit of variety. Just enough that I'm always getting the things I need. The only time I do a little bit different is like on race day, I try and eat a lot of carbohydrates.
July 12, 1980. Race day at the Los Angeles Coliseum, scene of the 1980 Coca-Cola Super Bowl of motocross. Stadium motocross started back in 1972, and it's grown to a sport with 11 races a year and an annual attendance of 500,000 people.
What do you like about Supercross?
Got a lot of action.
What do you like about Supercross racing?
The noise?
Well, it's exciting. I just enjoy it. I race myself. I ride Grand Prix and Enduros and that, and I just love racing. You know, the guys that are out there, geez, some of the best in the world, and you couldn't ask for anything more exciting.
What do you like best about the Supercross racing?
The excitement of it. I mean, I ride myself, and we rode last Sunday at California City, and I just like riding motorcycles.
I think, the competition better. I don't know, and just the way they ride the bikes, I think they're fantastic. When they fall, they get back up again and take off again.
How long have you been coming to the Super Bowl?
Oh, since 1976.
Why do you like it?
Oh, it's the racing. It gets better every year. It's pretty radical out there, so it's pretty good, and they're all the top pros of all the classes, so you get to see everybody all in one race going for it.
What do you like about the Super Bowl?
I like the excitement of it. I like stadium riding because I can see everything.
Behind the scenes, as the mechanics prepare the machines, fine-tuning every movable part, checking and rechecking their workmanship for the first skirmishes of the day. Kent's wife, Jill, talked to us about her responsibilities.
Is it difficult to do all this traveling and keep things together and the ironing and the cooking and all this on the road?
Yes, it's really difficult. Like Wednesday night before we came here, they had a party for Kent at home to celebrate him winning the 250 National Championship. And we got home really late, and I was up ironing till 2 that morning, and our flight was at 8.
Oh.
But, you know, as long as he gets his sleep, he's the one that has to race.
You enjoy going to the races?
I love it.
Why?
It's really exciting, and I think that it's good to have me there giving him moral support, and I'm just really proud of him, and it's just great watching him out there.
Who's your favorite rider?
Today is Chuck's son.
All the way for Bill.
Your favorite rider?
Barnett.
You think Mark Barnett can win tonight?
He won last year, and he can do it again.
Who's going to win tonight?
My guess is Ken Howerton.
Really? Why Howerton?
Because he's fast.
Howerton's going to win.
The sun has set over Southern California. We see a full view of the 3/4-mile-long dirt battleground. The spectators await the start of heat number 2. The riders line up at the starting gate. Ken Howerton will be riding the yellow and blue number 4 Suzuki. Muscles tense, the riders leaned forward against the European-style starting gate. The gate dropped and heat number 2 was underway. The pack into the first turn, a sharp left-hander. One rider went down early. Breaking away out in front over a series of hoop-to-dos was Ken Howerton. They went up the peristyle and then down the other side of the peristyle, a jump constructed by laying plywood across the seats of the Coliseum and covering it by dirt. Out in front was Ken Howerton, closely followed by Big Marty Tripes out of San Diego, California. To the opposite end of the Coliseum, around a diabolical over and under tunnel that proved to be the downfall of many riders during the race. Down the front straightaway, Howerton was fully in command, approaching 70 miles an hour in 5th gear. But right on his heels was Marty Tripes. Tripes knew he had to stick a wheel inside Howerton on one of the turns. Over 6 feet tall and over 205 pounds, Tripes was putting the pressure on Howerton. Over the series of hoop-to-dos, then up again outside the peristyle jump. The crowd was getting their money's worth. Howerton flew over the peristyle 60 feet to the floor of the Coliseum, still in control and still in front. Howerton in front, Team Yamaha's Marty Tripes in second spot, and a Honda rider trying desperately to gain on him in third. Again, around and over and under the tunnel. Then back to the front straightaway, and Howerton put the coals to the Suzuki. The dirt, very hard packed for this time, had been the downfall of a number of riders earlier, causing bent spokes and broken rims. Howerton in front, the final lap. Tripes falling off the pace just a little bit as Ken Howerton wheelied across the finish line, taking heat number 2.
A tough one.
Thank you, Larry. Marty was going pretty fast there, and at the last there, I managed to pull away a little bit. But I think I kind of bent my front wheel again.
How?
The jumps are so hard, you have to hit them so fast that you're hitting so hard that the spokes are pulling the hub egg-shaped. And it's, you know, my wheel was gone about halfway through there, and I just didn't have the brakes I used to have. But I'm glad I stayed together, because in practice I broke with it. Usually when I do that, I'm riding really hard, so I feel good.
The men who help prepare their riders to give 110% are the team managers. Like the managers of other professional sports teams, they keep the wheels rolling by planning strategies and helping their athletes stay in top physical form.
What's the most important job of a team manager?
Boy, that's a tough one. I think the psychology for the riders is probably as important as having a good rider.
To make sure that the rules are interpreted in the manner that they should be interpreted and not in favor of another team or, you know, another brand, to make sure that things aren't dangerous for the riders, to make sure to oversee the mechanics, make sure that everything is prepared properly, and to give the riders what little advice that I can from my racing days.
I think the most important function is organization, preparation, and communication amongst all the people.
To keep the operations going under all conditions. You can't be set back by anything. To expect the unexpected, I would say.
Okay, motocross fans, get out your pen and paper, because here's a motocross video that will blow you away. This is Larry Huffman, and this guy is Jeff the Chicken Matasevich, #1 in the 1990 Supercross point standings this week. Jeff wants you to have a copy of his outrageous video called the Mataz Attack Video, I'm No Chicken, through this exclusive TV offer. In this 60-minute video, Jeff takes you on a personal tour of the Kawasaki Supercross test track and shows you how to ride motocross like a pro. This special video includes tips on starts, turns, berms, and jumps, and features a secret inside look at how to use play riding as a primary source for improving your motocross skills. Would you like to learn how to ride motocross? Do you ride motocross now? Do you like outrageous motocross jumps? This is your only opportunity to order the Mataz Attack Video, I No Chicken. because this tape is not available in stores and will never be shown on TV. You can order now by using any major credit card, just by calling toll-free 1-800-688-MOTO, or order by mail by sending only $29.95 plus $4 shipping. Order right now, and you'll receive your copy of the Mataz Attack video, I'm No Chicken, Jeff's personal autograph on the tape cover, and a free motocross action trading card. To order by credit card, call toll-free 1-800-688-MOTO. To order by mail, send checks or money orders to Moto Video, P.O. Box 501, South Laguna, California, 92677. That's Moto Video, P.O. Box 501, South Laguna, California, 92677. This video is only $29.95 plus $4 shipping and handling. No CODs free. Call now to receive the video, the autograph, and the free trading card for one low price.
Kent Howerton is a winner both on the track and in the eyes of motocross fans. In 1979, he finished second in the 250 National Championship. In 1980, he won the 250 National title. Every year, the readers of Motocross Action magazine vote for their favorite motocross rider. For 1980, it was Kent Howerton.
That's great pleasure from the staff of Motocross Action on behalf of the thousands of readers who sent in their ballots and voted for Kent to present him with this truck and this plaque commemorating the fact of his pick as Rider of the Year.
I'd like to thank all the people who voted for me, because just getting the truck is one thing, but knowing that everybody really wanted me to get it is more important than having the truck. I hope I can still be the rider that you want to pick for next year. So thank you very much.
The main event, 20 laps. The 25 best racers in the world in this uniquely Americanized sport of Supercross. 25 riders, but only one will be crowned champion. And the champagne, glory, and gold will go to the toughest, the one who can survive. The mechanics move back behind the riders, holding stopwatches. Nervousness, nervous energy, butterflies in the stomach. Howerton eyes the starter. Rocking back and forth, trying to work off the nervous energy. The gate dropped, and the Super Bowl of Motocross main event was underway. One rider having problems into the hay bales, it was Warren Reed, Team Kawasaki. But out in front was the three-time 125 national champion Brock Glover. Glover, number 11, riding his first ever Super Bowl of Motocross out in front, and followed very closely by Team Honda's Johnny Hansen. Down the back straightaway, it was Glover in front, 2 or 3 bike lengths back, Hansen. Into the tunnel. In third spot, it was Kent Howerton, the Rhinestone Cowboy. Glover, Yamaha, Hansen, Honda, and Howerton, Suzuki. Over the whoop-de-doos, made even harder now, almost like asphalt from the pounding of the 200-pound works bikes. Glover, the youngest American motorcycle champion ever, 17-year-old high school senior when he won his first title. He is out in front. Signaled the riders, kept them informed of their positions, and who was behind them. Steve Wise, the winner of the 1979 New Orleans Supercross, was out early. Howerton began putting the pressure on Hansen. Through the tunnel, and over the tunnel, he attempted to slip by, and Hansen slammed the door on him. Hansen had to contend with a charging Howerton from the back as he watched Glover open up his lead. As Dan Gurney once said, the most important requisite of a rider or driver is total concentration. And Hansen was being hounded by Howerton in third spot. Warren Reed lapped by Glover. The team managers anxiously studied the riders, watching their positions. Howerton continued to put the pressure on Johnny Hansen. up to the tunnel again. Hansen trying to concentrate. No. Howerton slipped by on the inside. It took just an instant for Hansen to lose his concentration, and Howerton was by in a flash. Glover was in front, trying to open up an already almost insurmountable lead. Howerton in second spot, and Hansen on the Honda in third. It was Howerton's last chance to try to catch the incredibly hard-charging Glover. As Glover, flying out of the Coliseum Peristyle, heading for his first ever Super Bowl of motocross win. It had to be an incredible rush for a young kid. The checkered flag, Glover taking it. Kent Howerton finishing second.
I just got out front, Larry, and I just did exactly what I knew I could do, is just go as fast as I can, as smooth as possible. Sure paid off back here, I know that.
You were opening up a lead there toward the end.
Yeah, it's just it kept increasing about 1 second, maybe 2 seconds a lap. About 5 laps from the end, I just cooled it and wanted to make sure I won this here Super Bowl, and that's exactly what I'm after. First time I've ever raced it, and I came and conquered. I was really, really happy.
You made it look easy, if I can use that word.
I don't mind it at all if you use it. I really appreciate the compliment, and I'm just so excited. I'm shaking from happiness, not fatigue.
Glover got on in front, and that was more or less it. But the excitement happened between you and Howerton. How did that go?
He was behind me. I heard him behind me almost the whole race. And I was just trying to keep my cool and stay in the right lines and hope for the best.
Then he passed you? What happened exactly when he passed you?
Going up to the tornado, when I was approaching, I screwed up a little bit, and he got underneath me.
That's all it takes, isn't it?
Yeah.
I kept trying to get underneath of him there. You know, I saw him, he's getting a little bit tired, I think. And I kept coming underneath there, and I almost got him one time, so I thought, well, hey, I'm going to go on the outside and really gas it. And what happened was he was still trying to set up, and I dove underneath of him, and that was all I needed, so I got it.
Kent's wife, Jill, carefully records each race so he knows what he and his competition did right and wrong. Like a professional football player, an important aspect of Kent's training is studying videotapes of his races. It might make the difference needed to win the next race.
When I look at the tape, I try and look at my style and see anything that there might be a flaw, you know, if I'm holding my arms too high or if I'm holding my head too far back. Something that I can look at and see, you know, that I might be doing wrong so I can improve on it. I think it makes a difference on how I look in the future, how many years I want to keep on doing this. You have, say, they think 25 is where you reach your peak, but really, I'm 26 now, and I've done better than I ever have done before. So I would have to say the next 3 to 4 years are going to be my best years, you know, the way I feel. And I think everybody matures a little bit differently, and it depends on their mental attitude. I started racing motocross relatively late, so I think the attitude and my physical condition is good, and I think I have, you know, 3 or 4 prime more years where I'm going to do better than I have done.
His best years as a motocross rider are just ahead, but what about long-range goals?
Well, someday, all the things that I've learned, I would like to kind of help, you know, other kids, you know, get rides with bikes and teach them how to ride, because to learn all that, you need to put some back out, and it just feels good when I can help some guy and I can watch him and I can see him improving. It really helps me feel good to know that I helped him do that.
Kent Howerton, 26 years old, from San Antonio, Texas, motocross champion.
The 1980 Coca-Cola Super Bowl of Motocross Challenge of a Champion. Brought to you by Suzuki Motorcycles. See the full line of Suzuki motorcycles at your local Suzuki dealer.
I'm Larry Humphrey. Over the years, I've had the privilege of announcing some of the greatest Supercross races in history. Now I'm even more privileged to offer you the greatest Supercross races ever videotaped on home video. That's right. You'll see the greatest American Supercross stars who ever lived, like Bob Hannah, Mike Bell, Mark the Bomber Barnett, and even Jeff Ward and Rick Johnson in this complete series of videotapes based on the series you've been watching on 2 Wheels. Just call this toll-free number and order the entire 26 episodes of the On 2 Wheels video collection and save $15 per tape by ordering the entire series. Call now, and you pay only $7.69 per tape, plus postage and handling. It's the greatest collection of Supercross races ever assembled on video, and it's available only on this special TV offer. If you were to purchase all 26 shows at the regularly advertised price of $25 for each tape, you'd pay $650. But call this toll-free number and get all 26 videos for only $199.95. You'll own great races like this one.
And here's the start. There's Ward, number 3. Here comes Cooper. There goes Johnson. And Johnson is forced out. And the question is, can Johnson or Lachine come back and even have a chance of winning this race? 20 laps through the mud, the blood, and the beer here at the LA Coliseum. And Johnson is starting in 17th spot. Got a piece of meat. The checkered flag comes out. And Ricky Johnson wins the Super Bowl of motocross. Holy Toledo.
Guy Cooper, incredible finish as well.
Look at Johnson turns around and shakes his hand and holds it up and says, you won this one too, buddy.
So call toll-free and order all 26 shows from the On Two Wheels series and save over $400. These collector's tapes will be your last chance to see the history of Supercross forever. Call toll-free or send check or money order for $199.95 plus $25 postage and handling to On Two Wheels, P.O. Box 9501, South Laguna, California, 92677. All major credit cards accepted. Allow 4 to 6 weeks for delivery. No CODs accepted. Call right now and order your set of videos today. In the second half of our program, let's join announcer Ted Otto from the final race of the 1980 Supercross season from San Diego's Jack Murphy Stadium.
Of the 1980 Coca-Cola Motocross Finals, brought to you from San Diego Stadium in San Diego, California. Good evening. I'm Ted Otto. Tonight from San Diego, California, we'll be showing you highlights of the final event for the 1980 Motorcycle Motocross Championship events. It boils down to a story of two men. Mike Too Tall Bell from Team Yamaha, nicknamed Too Tall for he's 6'3" and the tallest man on the race circuit out here tonight. His closest competitor for the year is Chuck Sun from Team Honda. These two men have been battling it out all season in the stadium events across the country. And it boils down to tonight's final event. Either one of them can walk away with a championship title, the champion motocross motorcycle racer for the year 1980. They're in the starting gates for the first of 4 10-lap qualifying events for the big final. The starting gates fall, and jumping out into the lead is surprise number 23, young Johnny Cantalupi, a first-year rider on the Yamaha factory team. He got the whole shot and burst into the lead. Second for a few moments was Jeff Jennings, but now moving up to get into second place is the series point leader, Mike Too Tall Bell. 2 Yamahas in the lead in the first half of the first lap. Some of the riders having trouble in the rough part of the course. It's Cantalupi taking them into the tornado turn, and Mike Bell trying to get around on the inside. Now switches for the inside of a right-hand turn, and Mike Bell takes over the lead from Donnie Cantalupi. Let's take a look now as they come out of the tornado. Cantalupi in the lead, diving around on the inside of that right turn sweeper is the series point leader, Mike Bell of Yamaha on motorcycle number 3, taking off and sweeping into the lead. A little bit later on in the race as they come over those bone-jarring jumps that are man-made in the bottom of this stadium. It's still Mike Bell into the lead. He's going now over the Himalaya part of the race course and into the sand pit. He likes to take some of these jumps 2 at a time to eliminate running up and down into those deep pits. It's Mike Bell showing his style. He stands very tall on that motorcycle. When he's up on the foot peg, he is much much taller than anybody else on the race course. Now with a very comfortable lead in this very first qualifier, the opening event in tonight's race. He takes the checkered flag, and Mike Bell moves into the lead with this first event. The other riders now crossing the finish line, as 5 of them will transfer to tonight's final 20-lap event. 5 riders that move following Mike Bell, who's in first place on his Yamaha, his Suzuki-mounted Darrell Schultz. In third place, Kawasaki's Jeff Ward. Fourth place, Yamaha's Donnie Cantalupi. And fifth, Warren Reed on a Kawasaki. The second race now starting as the gates fall, and they come sailing out into the lead, and Mike Guerrera on a Husqvarna gets the hole shot. He's followed into that first left-hand turn by Honda's Jim Gibson. Then it's a Yamaha of Marty Tripes as some of the bikes are bobbling, and a Suzuki with Kent Howerton has moved into fourth place. They're coming around now, headed for the sand pits, and into the lead, Gibson taking over. Gibson getting by Guerrera, and now there's a big bottleneck in that turn, and many of the riders are bottled up and cannot get out, but coming out into the lead is Jim Gibson on his Honda bike. Let's take a look now as Gibson comes out of that tornado turn. The Honda bike now roaring with the horsepower, throwing dirt as he springs out into the lead and takes over in this second event. A 10-lap qualifier. 5 men will transfer to the finals. Moving along now, Howerton is holding on to the lead over Tripes, and Gibson has passed Bailey for third position. The bikes are running very rapidly now. It's a 10-lap qualifier, a sweeping left-hand turn that puts them on the fast part of this race course as they zoom up along near the seating in the stadium. A fast part of the race course now over the humps, and it gets a little bit tougher as they zoom around, headed for the tornado turn. A motorcycle coming out of nowhere and nearly knocking the leader down, almost getting Guerrera's Husqvarna. A bike in the middle of the race course as the rest of the riders get by. The leader now is down. Guerrera, number 28 on the Husqvarna, has lost the lead. His bike was down. He picked it up, gets it restarted, and gets back into the race. But Kent Howerton, number 4 on a Suzuki, has taken over the lead. Let's look now in slow motion. The leader was number 29, Jim Gibson on a Honda. He hits his front wheel, and it turns his bike clear over in a loop, dropping him down, and a new leader takes over, number 28, Mike Guerrera on his Husqvarna, as that bike shoots out of nowhere, almost taking Guerrera out of the race. But then a moment later, Guerrera makes a miscue, and he falls down, allowing Kent Howerton on the Suzuki number 4 to take over the lead. Back now as the race continues, it's Kent Howerton on the Suzuki with no problem in this race now that they've had the near misses on the racetrack, and the lead has changed 3 times. But now Kent Howerton into the sand pits with motorcycle number 4 holding on to the lead. He comes around now looking for the white flag as he stretches his lead over Marty Tripes on a Yamaha. The checkered flag is up now, and Gibson is in third, followed by Bailey. And the transfer to the final event from this one, number 2, will be Kent Howerton on a Suzuki, Marty Tripes Yamaha mounted. Third will be Jim Gibson on a Honda. Fourth, David Bailey on a Kawasaki, and Ron Sun on a Honda all make the final event. We'll be back with more after this word. California, the third qualifying heat is on the starting line. All the riders are waiting for the gates to fall. They do fall, and roaring out into the lead is Honda's Chuck Sun. He gets the hole shot in this event, roars down to the end of the racetrack through the hump thumpers and into the Coca-Cola catapult. He's followed by his teammate Steve Wise on a Honda. They are running almost side by side. Chuck Sun trying to hold off his teammate as they go into the sand pit. very, very close together. Chuck Sun now trying to accelerate as he goes around the berm at the end of the racetrack. Both motorcycles from Team Honda through the slot. And in third position now is Bob Hanna, last year's champion on a Yamaha. This is his first event this year. Here come the two Hondas now, almost side by side through the sandpit as we look at them coming through in a repeat. Here they are now with the leader Chuck Sun on bike number 63, his teammate number 9, Steve Wise. Now back to live action. Bob Hanna has passed Steve Wise coming into the start area, and here he goes now making that left-hand turn around that tight race course, and he's headed down the fast part of the racetrack. Let's look again as Bob Hanna comes up behind Steve Wise. He goes around on the outside, then cuts him off, shuts the door as he turns around the hay bale and heads around the racetrack. Meanwhile, Chuck Sun still has a 5.5-second lead over Bob Hanna. This, again, is Hanna's first race this year. He's been out all season with a broken leg. The leader fell down. Chuck Sun on bike 63 lost control of his bike. Bob Hanna gets right behind him and almost catches him. Hanna recovering from a broken leg, which he suffered in a water skiing accident. His first race of the year. Can he come back to his championship form? Bob Hanna trying desperately to catch Chuck Sun. Chuck Sun on the Honda trying to keep Hanna behind him. Hanna bobbling. Hanna clear off his motorcycle. Known as a wild man on this race course sometimes. Other riders having a difficult time getting around the turn. Bob Hanna all over this racetrack doing everything he can to catch the leader, Chuck Sun. Bike riders almost falling down. We're going now for this qualifying event. The white flag comes up, and we still have Chuck Sun in the lead. Bob Hanna dropping back just a little bit now. Looks like he's not going to be able to catch Chuck Sun, who has less than a half lap to go to put himself into the final event in this last race of the year. It's the Honda of Chuck Sun going by slower traffic up into the end of the racetrack now through the rock crunchers, which they've named these bumps at the end of the racetrack, jumping two at a time through the sand pits. He has one more left and a right to go, and he'll pick up a checkered flag, and Bob Hanna has dropped back. He's still in second place, but he is no longer a challenge to Chuck Sun, who brings his red Honda around the right turn to pick up a checkered flag and put himself into the final event. 5 riders will transfer, and the first one out of this one is Chuck Sun on bike number 63. With Sun going to the final is Bob Hanna on his Yamaha, Steve Wise on a Honda, Rex Staten also Yamaha mounted, and Dan Conway on a Honda. We'll be back after this word. Bike surge down the fast part of the racetrack, and number 29, Jim Gibson on his Honda gets the hole shot. He's followed by his teammate Chuck Sun, and young Donnie Cantalupi is in third place, now moving up into second place as Chuck Sun makes a mistake. So it's Honda and Yamaha as they go into the second turn in this first of 20 laps. The rest of the pack trying to get through the Himalayas and then the sand pit. They're now up into the tornado turn, and as they come around in the lead, it's Jim Gibson on the Honda, followed by Donnie Cantalupi on his Yamaha. The rest of the pack bunching up in that tight turn, allowing the leaders to get away from the rest of the pack. But there's 19.5 laps yet to go. In the lead, number 29, the Honda of Donnie Hansen, as they now begin to lengthen out their lead and stretch away from some of the rest of the motorcycles. The Honda's now back running first and second as Chuck Sun moves back into second position. It's Honda in the lead down the fast part of the racetrack and around the Coca-Cola catapult. Then over the Himalayas, headed for the sand pit. It's Honda, and then Yamaha as they are in the second lap of 20 laps. Through the treacherous sand pit they go. 2 Yamaha, or rather Hondas, almost side by side. The red machines now coming very close together. Around on the inside is Chuck Sun. Sun strikes his teammate Hansen, almost knocking him down, and Sun takes the lead. And while they bobble, moving into second place is Donnie Hansen on his Yamaha. A near fatal mistake made by the Honda team as Chuck Sun goes underneath his teammate, nearly knocking him off the racetrack. It is now Chuck Sun on bike number 63, the Honda in the lead. Donnie Cantalupi, number 23, on a Yamaha, running second. And in third spot is running Jim Gibson, who was nearly run off the race course by his teammate. Trying to lengthen out his lead now is Chuck Sun on Honda number 63, trying to accelerate around this race course. Now comes Donnie Cantalupi, the young lad who's his first year on a factory team. He's trying to maintain second position. He's also trying to catch Chuck Sun. Around the tornado turn again they go. It is Chuck Sun in the lead and Donnie Cantalupi, and now catching up as they bunch up in the turn is Mike Bell on bike number 3. The point leader for the year, trying to win this event and put it away for the season. Bike number 3 on Team Yamaha is Mike Bell, running in third position. It's Chuck Sun on the Honda in the lead. Donnie Cantalupi running second as they run down through the infield on part of the roughest of this course. And Cantalupi making a bobble back in there, and moving now into second place is Mike Bell. It's Chuck Sun in the lead, and Mike Bell of Yamaha, Mike Too Tall Bell, 6'3", has moved into second place. They are now up into the Coca-Cola catapult. Mike Bell trying to catch up while the rest of the riders bunching up, and the two Suzuki riders crashing into each other. It's Howerton and Barnett crashing into that hay bale near the starting area, almost putting the entire team out. Another rider goes down. That's motorcycle number 11. That's the local rider, Brock Glover from Team Yamaha, favored to win this event. He's down and back in the pack. Meanwhile, Mike Bell putting on a challenge now to Chuck Sun. It's Mike Bell and Chuck Sun. Mike Bell pulling up alongside on the inside. Now going around to the outside, switching back into the tornado turn. They're side by side, and through the slot, it's Mike Bell. Mike Bell makes a fantastic pass and pulls off into the lead. It's Michael Too Tall Bell, the point leader for 1980 on the Yamaha, moving into the lead over Chuck Sun's Honda. A fantastic pass in the tornado turn. Mike Bell now in the rough part, the hump thumpers on this racetrack, but Chuck Sun is not out of it yet. They're down near the start area, that tight sweeping left-hand turn, but this is where the Hondas show their horsepower. This is the fastest part of this racetrack, and Chuck Sun is again gaining on Mike Bell. Bell trying to play it cool, trying not to lose control of the bike, being very careful as he heads into the sand pit. Perhaps too careful as Chuck Sun is gaining ground on Mike Bell. Again, they're headed up into the tornado turn, but there's slower traffic up ahead of Mike Bell. Mike Bell has to get by a Kawasaki that's directly in front of him. Can he get by up here on this little short straightaway? Mike Bell now coming around one of the rough parts of the race course, a washboard effect in here. Mike Bell trying to hold off Chuck Sun's Honda. A threat being put on by the red machine. And now a bike loses control. That's David Bailey on bike number 93, the Kawasaki, losing control and throwing his bike off the race course. Bell is bobbling. Bell makes a mistake, and Chuck Sun moves back into the lead. Bell almost falling off that motorcycle as he hits a berm and loses control. Chuck Sun on the fast part of the racetrack again, putting distance between his Honda and the Yamaha of Mike Bell. Bell not giving up. Bell now putting on the challenge. He seems to accelerate in the rough part of the course, and the Honda down the long straightaway. They're jumping high now and landing into the sand pit. It's Chuck Sun's Honda in the lead. It's Mike Bell with a fantastic jump, catching right up behind Sun again. Here they are in this tornado turn. Bell's going to try it again. He did it here before, and he does it again. It's Mike Bell pulling that fantastic pass that he does through that tiny slot that has worn into that tight turn in the tornado. And now Sun puts on pressure. Sun trying to get around on the inside. What a fantastic race. The crowd is going berserk. It's Bell trying to hold off the Honda of Chuck Sun. They're side by side, and Chuck Sun now darts off into the lead. The lead is changing twice each lap now between Honda and Yamaha. The two that brought it down to the wire this entire season. The Honda rider number 63, Chuck Sun, and number 3 of Yamaha, who will wear number 1 next year if he puts it away in this event, Mike Bell. Now they're moving up again in slower traffic. Bell trying to out-jump. He does. He's got a half a wheel on Sun through the sand pit. They're back up into slower traffic again, and Mike Bell has taken the lead. He uses the traffic now back into his favorite part of this racetrack, on the back fender of a slower rider, but Bell is holding off Sun. There should be a warning flag given. There is a blue move over flag to the slower traffic as Mike Bell is trying to hold off Chuck Sun. This event is going to go to the wire. 20 exciting laps of racing in San Diego Stadium, and it won't be over until the checkered flag waves. An exciting event. Oh, another bobble. This bobble by bike number 63. That's Chuck Sun, who was in second place. He's off his motorcycle. He's killed the engine. One kick and it restarts, but Chuck Sun has dropped back in this event. The white flag is up. There's only 1 lap to go for Mike Bell, and he does not know that Chuck Sun is no longer in second place. He'll get a signal from his pit crew down near the starting line. They'll put up a chalkboard to tell him Chuck Sun not giving up. Mike Bell has less than a lap to go to put away this final event for the year. He's down in that fast part, the Coca-Cola catapult. He's now headed around over the Himalayas. He's got less than a half a lap to go. He's into the sand pits, and now he's coming around out of the turn, and Mike Bell gets the checkered flag to win this final event at San Diego, California. The bombs are bursting in air, and we're going down to have a quick word with the winner, Mike Bell. Have to be very happy closing out the season as champion and winning the last race here close to home.
Oh, yeah, it feels great.
I know you'll want to take that home with you because that trophy says it all. That says first place in San Diego.
Yep. Hopefully lots more, too.
Mike, we'll see you next year on the circuit. The final standings in San Diego in first place from Team Yamaha, Michael Too Tall Bell. Second place on a Honda, Donnie Hansen.
Hey, Supercross fans, check this out. It's high fly.